Welcome to playing a random game this morning. Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way. The game I chose for today is Bloons TD6. Just kind of felt like playing it this morning. And we're going to go ahead and do just the standard hard mode since I don't have the other ones unlocked yet for the Christmas map, which I think is just fitting because of what today is. The boss that I'm using is Etienne, which has a uniquely wonderful perk of when he gets to, I believe it's level 8 or 9, he is able to make every other monkey see camo. And I'm going to go ahead with my normal setup. I was originally going to do this for chimps, but that didn't happen. My typical setup for the harder modes is actually to use two of the more basic monkeys of the dart monkey and the tack shooter, which are surprisingly powerful, especially when you get Etienne to help the tack shooter see camo. And the other trick is to get this guy over here, the alchemist, that can make it so they all can see lead, or can hit lead as well. Now, for this guy, the direction I'm going is actually going to be 4 on the bottom and 2 on the very top. That allows it to shoot super fast and a ton of tacks. Now, the way I generally start this out is I try to get the first 3 on the bottom before I move on to the dart monkey, just so that it's able to clean up the swarms a little bit better. And then with the dart monkey, I go 2 in the middle and the rest down in the bottom to get the crossbowmen. Now to start, I just get the general crossbow, but at the very least, I try to get the sharpshooter. This is usually enough to handle most of the issues. For some reason, I can never quite remember when the first lead comes out, so I'm going to go ahead and get the alchemist before I get his crossbow, since we're doing pretty good right now.
Oui.
It's just once that lead comes out, we need to have him ready. And to make it so that he can grant everyone around him the ability to pop lead, we have to get this second one up here, which is the acidic mixture dip. And you can see he starts to put bubbles on everyone else. And then I usually do 2 in the middle to just go ahead and make it a little bit more powerful. Also, you'll notice I set him to strong. That makes him target the leads faster. But I leave this guy set to first because he will just kind of clean everything up pretty quickly. Now, it can be tempting to go ahead and spend all your money on different monkeys now that I can afford them. This is usually a pretty big mistake. Round 40, we end up with our first Moab,
Drone power.
And we need to get these guys leveled up at least to level 4 before that Moab comes out. As you can see, these guys kind of keep it cleaned up. There we go. Now, if you're doing chimps, ideally you need to get this guy and this guy to tier 5. It is not easy to do because you have 1 life, and if you lose it, you are dead. Now we've still got 5 or 4 rounds to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy to just kind of soften up that
Yeah.
Moab a little bit before they get out. If you're looking for that, Advanced Intel is one of the best for this guy because it lets him shoot anywhere anything else can see. And then the bottom chain is the best against the Moabs and Moab class balloons. This one right here, the piercing armor, or the armor piercing darts, you can see does additional damage to Moab class. Even if I'm not able to get it, which it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get it before the Moab comes out, it will still do its job of softening it up. There we go. Now this isn't always necessary, but it does help him keep these guys lead capable. If you can get up to the stronger stimulant, it makes it so that the potion, he doesn't have to cast the potions on them quite as often. If you are able to get to the tier 5, the permanent brew will make it so that, well, he gives it to them and you basically don't need him anymore. Now this map has an interesting facet to it where each of these squares will start to uncover as the round progresses. And they each, most of them, like this one should be open to anything. The water ones can be any type of monkey that are water capable. But each of these has to be its specific type. So primary monkeys are the only ones that can go in the blue. Any of these with the blue background. The military monkeys are green, the magic monkeys are purple, and the support monkeys are yellow. So no matter how much room I have, I cannot put this guy here, but I can put him here.
MOAB.
For the fun of it, and just to be silly, I'll go ahead and put a banana tower up here. Bananas give extra money. Just help you save up for other things that you might want. Let's see, what is this guy gonna run? 24,000. If you can get this guy to Crossbow Master, he will generally take you up to the Zong pretty easily. You need a little bit of support for him, but he gets really powerful. If you have Monkey Knowledge, you can actually get 2 Crossbow Masters. If you're playing something like Chimps, though, you are not able to use that Monkey Knowledge. Let's see, I'm hoping I can get this guy before round 63, which is a pretty major swarm. Should be able to just fine. Now with this game, there are a few rounds that go a little crazy. Actually, as I said, round 63 is one of the craziest early on. I believe 36 is another one. There's another one in the 70s. And then if you are going for Impoppable or Chimps, there is also one in the 90s where you get a swarm of what's called DDTs, which are camo lead super fast Moabs.
Drone power.
And if you are not prepared, they will eat you up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy for fun, just to show off my undead balloons that I got. Something I didn't say, the wizard is able to throw a pile of fire on the ground. He is shimmer capable, which is the level before this guy. And what the shimmer does is it actually wipes camo off of the other balloons. Isn't so necessary when you have Etienne.
Oui?
A few levels ago, he made it so everything can see camo. Another one of the fun skins that they did for this event that I was able to get. This guy actually is throwing
Tracking
snowflakes.
BFB.
Not that you're probably going to be able to see them very well at this point. Yeah, we'll leave him to fast.
Oui.
And I think I got the candy cane rings from the event. Yep, I got the candy cane rings. Now, the way I set this guy up, he actually does a special attack where his boomerangs will hit one and travel down the chain. It's the glaive ricochet, and then this just makes him throw faster. Guess I should explain. This tier can actually go all the way up to a phoenix, but this tier makes it so that he can also pop lead.
Time.
This tier is really good against Moabs. It's got the arcane spike on it. It is really expensive to get though. And then this guy, this tier makes him throw lots of shurikens. And this tier makes it so that the shurikens will actually seek out the balloons instead of just going in a random direction. This guy, I don't think you can see it too well, but he's actually throwing pumpkins from the Halloween event. You can kind of see them a little bit. And this guy, I actually got the bone spikes from the Halloween event. Just some of the fun skins you can get. They put these out during every event. Now I'm using the small towers,
Drone
which
power.
does kind of make it a little bit challenging because they actually don't show quite where their range is. That being said, they it's a lot easier to see what's going on your map. They also have small balloons, they have large balloons. There's quite a few different ways you can set your game up as you get the unlockables. Now what I built over here is called the the banks, the money banks. And what they do is they accumulate money every round based on how many balloons you pop and how much money you earn. They're a little more convenient in the fact that it adds up and just stays here. Whereas, this you have to keep collecting, or you have to put a banana farmer, which you have to pay for. Let's see, let's go ahead and do free play. Let's see how far we can take this. That's actually why I started building these banks. Not sure that I'm entirely set up to make it to the BFB, but we will, or the BAD, but we'll see what happens.
C'est beau.
Now, if you can beat the BAD, that's what's required to be able to beat the chimps mode and the unpoppable mode. If you are playing any of the modes, however, it also makes it so that you can get some special towers, which if you come over here, they're called insta-monkeys. You get them and they already have levels, and based on the color of them, the more levels they will have. They're definitely useful to have, especially when you're playing things like
Weapons
Odysseys.
hot.
Another thing about this game, if you've never played it, down here you get powers down here in the bottom left corner. Based on the tower that you're using, they can have all sorts of powers. Right now, the only powers I have are Etienne's, the hero.
Weapons hot. Swarm deployed. Drone power.
This causes a this big plane to fly around, dropping
Tracking
bombs.
ZOMG.
Or shooting missiles off. This one causes more of the drones to show up. I'm gonna go ahead and place one of these guys now. He's pretty powerful. This is the Super Monkey. If you go down on the Dark Knight side, he is better against Moabs.
DDT, DDT.
Going
That's
a couple
some
levels
serious
up here at the top makes it so that he can pop the leads. Hey, those guys are paying off finally. I'm gonna go ahead and level this guy up to tier 5 now. Get him the Dark Knight. Let's see how far we can take this.
DDT,
Let's
DDT.
see the next one. Those are DDTs that just ran by. Let's see if I can get the Prince of Darkness next. Every wave is increasingly more dangerous.
Weapons hot.
You'll notice I have a new power down here from the Super Monkey. This power actually makes it so that I can move him around the screen. Those DDTs always make me nervous.
Swarm deployed.
Oh dear.
C'est la guerre.
That was it. Was not quite ready for those guys this time. Now this has only taken 17 minutes of a hour-long stream, so let's go ahead and do another map. Let's see, here's another wintry one. I think I actually have some extra things. Let's go ahead and do Magic Monkeys. Magic Monkeys is a little bit more challenging. Now you can use any hero with Magic Monkeys, but you are only able to use the Magic Monkeys. Makes sense. That's why it's called that. So you kind of have to change your strategies a bit based on the special game modes. The other one I had the option for is alternate balloons rounds, which is also extremely challenging. Things come out at different levels. You get leads and camos much earlier. You get a lot more camos in that mode.
Swarm deployed.
You get reinforced Moabs instead of the normal Moabs. It just, all in all, it's a much more difficult mode. Now I'm gonna hold out for just a moment longer to get this guy. He is really good at dealing with swarms, especially to begin with, and the Ninja Monkey starts out able to see camo. Not that that's so much of an issue right now. Seeking Shuriken is extremely good to get, especially if he's one of your few monkeys. You don't have very many, because he makes sure his darts are homing in on the balloons. Otherwise, he can miss a lot. If I don't have anything to deal with Moabs, it's really good to go this bottom route, because he actually starts throwing bombs, which can hit leads. This flash bomb, it also stuns balloons slightly. And the next level up, he puts bombs on the Moabs themselves. But for this first guy, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and give him the flash bomb. Leads come out pretty early. And the leads usually come out before the swarms really start. Other ways to deal with leads, obviously this guy can deal with leads and can give lead popping to others.
Oui.
Actually, you know what? I think we're getting a little bit too close to that first lead. I'm gonna go ahead and put this here. Just to be safe. And this will let me go ahead and just make this guy the multi-shuriken thrower. Now, one thing you might have noticed, on hard mode, you have to get to round 80, which is the first of those big ZOMGs. I actually had a steampunk skin on them, which makes them look a little different, but they're usually a big green blimp. If you're doing medium, you have to get to round 60, which is the red BFB. And if you're doing easy mode, you only have to get to round 40, which is that blue, the blue, Moab. Now, this guy, if you're going to go the undead route, which is what I prefer to do, you want him to be towards the front, because he will actually only be able to spawn the undead balloons from ones that have been killed in his range. Now, it will keep a count of them, so if I kill 5,000 in this round, and I only kill 2 in the next round, it will actually deduct from the full amount, not just what was killed this round. Which makes it a little bit nice. And now it's just kind of a waiting game to get enough money to do anything. The harder the difficulty mode, the longer it takes to accumulate money, because everything just costs a little bit more and you gain a little bit less from each balloon. You also start with less cash. There is a mode you can buy into. It's one of the only things that takes real money in this game, but you can get a permanent double cash. We have never done that, but it would definitely make things a lot easier if you're looking for that. Pretty much everything in this game, though, you can get for free just by playing it. Now you'll notice that all the undead balloons are over here.
Tracking.
The way this guy works, he will place the undead balloons anywhere at the farthest part of the track coming towards the front. So if I want to make sure that the undead balloons are on this side, I would need to actually put this guy back a little bit. We'll go ahead and do that so you can see it over here. But because this is where this guy is, the balloons will actually spawn somewhere around here, and they'll move this way. So sometimes it's actually good to have multiples. If I'm able to get the Prince of Darkness, he will actually not only summon the balloons, but he will summon little undead Moabs as well. Okay, let's see. Now Moabs are going to start becoming a little bit more of a thing. So let's go ahead and get this guy and make him get this sticky bomb and set him to strong. And then we'll go ahead and give him a few more shurikens. He can pop 4 with that one. Each shuriken can pop 4 balloons, that is. Now, the way this works with every monkey, the tier 4 or the tier 5 is going to be extremely powerful.
Tracking.
But they are always also extremely expensive. So it can be kind of hard to get them. The super monkeys
Oui.
also are extremely powerful, but they are also extremely expensive from the start. That's why, even though they are able to do quite a bit, I sometimes don't even use them in the game. If I do, I wait until later in the game to actually start trying to get them. It's really, really easy to, with the super monkeys, make it so that you are able to destroy any heavy Moab that you get, but neglect the swarms, which this guy is not so good at. And you will die very quickly, especially when it comes to round 63.
C'est beau.
There we go. And now I think let's go ahead and work on a little bit more swarm control. Now this guy is pretty fun for swarm control if you do him right.
Tracking
If you go this
BFV.
top route, he starts producing lightning that he throws down at the balloons, and it jumps from one to another. This makes it so that it's kind of like the distraction. It will knock balloons back towards the beginning. This can help freeze things. This will increase the number of thorns shot by him, but the next level is not so important right now. Heart Evoke, what it does is makes the regrow balloons unable to regrow. What regrows do is if there is a long period of time that they are not touched, they will increase back to what they started at. The way balloons works, as you pop one level, it will go to the next lower level until it eventually reaches a red balloon and then pops. If they're regrow, let's say it's a yellow, it'll go down to the next level down, and then it can go back up until it reaches level again, or yellow again.
Tracking BFB.
Okay, that should pretty well cover over there. Honestly, we are probably pretty well set to read the ZOMG at this point. So I'm going to actually start preparing a little bit so that we can do free play again and maybe have a little bit more luck. It's a lot more difficult when you have these restricted modes like the Magic Monkeys only. But it would not be the first time that I have beat it with that.
C'est beau.
And unfortunately, sometimes you have to take skills like this one is irrelevant at this point. He can already see camo because of Etienne, but we do still have to take it to be able to get to the next level.
A great time.
This does allow them to shoot a little bit further and do a little bit more damage though. So it's not too much of a waste, just its primary use is not so relevant. Now, after we get this, we need to focus fairly heavily on swarm control. And ideally, I'll probably put another super monkey somewhere down here The other option is to really focus on trying to get these guys to tier
Oui?
5. Without the banana towers, though, that can be extremely difficult to do.
C'est beau.
Now to combat the DDTs, even if you don't invest a lot into them, it's really important that you make these guys able to see or to attack lead. Those DDTs, like with the last round, tend to be what will make or break you. That's not to discount the power of the BAD, but you have to get to the BAD first.
Tracking the OMG.
Yeah, I didn't think those zombs were going to be too much of a problem.
C'est beau.
There we go. There's some basic swarm control. Let's go ahead and see about setting up a couple arcane spikes. Now, the arcane spikes are extremely expensive. For a tier 4, having it be 10,000 is actually quite a bit. Now this, because we're doing this, and we have Etienne, there's no point in spending the money on that. It will literally do nothing. But this intense magic is
Oui.
pretty nice.
Weapons hot. Drone power. Tracking the OMG.
Now we will be
DDT,
coming up.
DDT.
Oh, there's our first
That's some
DDTs.
serious damage.
And that is comforting, they died real fast.
Weapons hot.
The biggest thing to remember with the DDTs, if you ever play this, they are,
DDT,
generally
DDT.
speaking, camo and lead. So, unless you have it set up to make it where other monkeys can see the camo and the lead, it is really easy to miss one of them, and that will very quickly
Weapons
end
hot.
you. Haha, the DDT Swarm did not win this time.
Weapons hot.
It's always hard to decide what the best route is to deal with the BID itself. The BID is extremely powerful. It's got a lot of life.
Swarm deployed.
Although that might not be an issue here.
Eyes on that exit.
Never mind. See, it's always a very fine balance between saving up money to get stronger monkeys and putting more things out there. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. It would have been better to get some more swarm control, but you never know until you find out the hard way. Let's see. This one's a pretty fun track. We've got time to do it, looks like probably one more. Again,
ready to fly.
General setup is generally the best option. This one I like to go ahead and use some of the boats on. They can be fun. Swarm control, especially because early on you can get them to camel lead pretty easy. The trick with the tack shooter, the more track you can have touching it, the more effective it will be. Especially when you go the tack sprayer mode.
Yeah.
That is the only downside with this game, is it takes a while to earn the money to really get you started. Especially when you have a pretty set method that works really well.
Oui.
Now, some other modes you can play, they do have a multiplayer. You can do it as a split screen where one player is on this side, or top or bottom. You can actually play that with up to four players total. You can also set it to all, where anyone can place towers anywhere. If you do that mode, you want to make sure you're careful who you play with. Generally speaking, most players are decent about it, but sometimes you'll get a jerk that can really mess things up. Someone who puts tier 1 towers all over the place and doesn't leave any room. This game, you do need to level things up. Unless you are on the absolute easiest mode, then maybe you could survive. Generally, you need
A great
those
time.
towers to be leveled up, though. Now, with this guy, 2 levels in the middle gives it Hot Shot, which allows it to light them on fire and pop leads. 2 levels on the bottom gives it Crow's Nest, which allows it to see camo. A really powerful use for this guy, if you go the middle mode, he will get an activatable power with the Monkey Pirates and the tier above it. Monkey Pirates makes it so that he can grab a single Moab or BFB. The next mode will allow him to grab 3 balloons, or 3 of the blimps, up to and including, I believe, the Zong. None of them can grab the BAD, though. You do have to crack that. That would just be a little bit too powerful otherwise. Especially because when they grab the balloon, they actually pull, or the blimp, they actually pull it in. And so it does not produce any babies. Generally speaking, the ZOMG will pop into a handful of BFBs. Each BFB will pop into a handful of Moabs, and Moabs pop to ceramics, and so on. They did also make it so that several of these guys, their powers will actually make it so that the balloons will not pop into anything lower as well.
Oui.
There we go. Yeah, the Pirate Lord allows increased attack speed, shoots 3 grappling hooks at once, get extra money from each Moab taken down, or Moab class balloon taken down, that's any of the blimps. And I'm pretty sure it allows Zoms to be taken down. Next Moab I see, I'll go ahead and use this so you can see what it looks like. You just have to be ready before it pops. I believe next round there's going to be a Moab class balloon.
Tracking
yep, there we
MOAB.
go. Happened really fast, but he grabbed it and yanked it to him. Another interesting one to play with is this guy, the helicopter.
Drone power.
He will follow your mouse around, or you can set him so that he's set to a certain path or locked in place. My favorite thing to do, if you do 2 up here, he gets Pursuit, where he now will chase the balloons himself. He always goes for the one at the front. If you do 2 levels in this one, he can see camo. Obviously, we're using Etienne, so that's not an issue. And then if you go down here, these make him attack faster, and then this gives him Moab Shove. And what that does is makes it so, as you saw, he kind of knocked the Moab back. Comanche Defense is interesting. If things get a little bit hairy, a couple of other helicopters will suddenly arrive and help him out. It's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it helps a little. Let me go ahead and get this guy going.
Drone power.
Even on rounds I don't need him, I usually get him just because I have fun with that. Also, hello, and welcome to the stream. We are just playing Bloons Tower Defense 6 right now. This is actually our third match if you want to watch any of the other ones earlier.
Tracking BFB.
We are just doing a basic hard mode right now.
C'est beau.
So, let's see, what other fun things can we find here? There's the Dartling Gunner here. He will shoot wherever your mouse is pointing, which can be useful. I don't like it so much like that because when I go to level, I always end up with him not hitting anything. So you can set him to locked mode where he will lock wherever you have his target set up. I like going, there's the laser cannon, there's powerful darts. Probably one of the better modes, if you go this middle route, he gets the Hydra rocket pods. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Yeah, they're all pretty useful. This bottom one makes it so that it's better for when you have it loose.
Tracking
They can
BFB.
also get this where you can click on that and it'll immediately start following you. That's
Oui.
good for emergencies. Let's say there's a rush coming out here, I can click that and then get them aiming somewhere else really fast. This guy has an interesting ability. It's good against swarms. If you go this way, now he can shoot anything that any other balloon can see. So if one of the balloons can see camo, he will now be able to see camo while the balloon is in that one's range. It does not make him able to pop lead, however. If you want to pop lead, you need to go this middle route, and you get the lead popping capabilities with the heat tip darts. Ballistic missile will start shooting missiles at Moabs. And then there's this interesting one. If you do just the first one where he submerges, he allows balloons in range to be able to see camo. If you go to the plutonium reactor, now he starts popping things in his range. And the heat tip darts will allow him to pop lead as well. Kind of an interesting little monkey there. The engineer is pretty fun. Take him. If you go the top route, he starts making these little sentry guns that will shoot with him. If you go the middle route, he's really good against Moabs. If you go the bottom route, he can actually get a trap that he lays on the track that any balloons that make it through, he'll grab up to a certain amount and then pop for money. And if you can save up to the XXL trap, it is really good against ADTs because it will grab, I believe, up to a ZOMG. Let's see, sniper monkeys are one of the classics. This mode will let him shoot out fragments behind whatever balloon he hits. This makes it so he shoots faster and you can make him just continually get faster. This allows him to pop lead. This makes him pop through more layers. This is better against ceramics. And this one is especially nice because it will actually lock the Moabs up to a ZOMG in place for a period of time. Glue Gunner is interesting. There's a few different modes you can go with it. This allows it to splatter a whole bunch of balloons. This makes it so that it stays on the balloons longer, and this will make it so that it slowly dissolves the balloons, so for as long as it's on there, it will continually pop a layer at a time. This one makes it, the level 3 is 2 layers every second. This pops 10 every second. So that can get pretty powerful. Ice Monkey. You have to be kind of careful with the Ice Monkey because some balloons cannot actually hit frozen balloons. But If you go this upper level, it gets Cold Snap, which freezes and pops balloons, including lead and camo. This makes it so that when they pop, they send out shards that attack others. And apparently Bloons decided to, yeah, the trap, if you get the higher tier trap, the tier 5, it can pop the DDTs, which is nice. Apparently my Bloons decided to crash, so let's see if we can get it turned back on really quick. Does not happen very often. Apparently it got angry this time. Now, because it crashed, I don't know that it's gonna save, but sometimes it'll save where you were. There we go. We might have lost a little bit of progress. But yeah, when you get this guy to the XXL trap, he will hit all but the BAD. That is, I believe, the only thing he cannot hit. Let's go ahead and give this guy embrittlement. Refreeze allows him to freeze balloons that are already frozen. Embrittlement just makes the Moab class balloons be able to be hit and become a little bit more brittle. Let's go ahead and put one of these guys back here for fun, just in case. For the boomerang monkeys, you can actually switch which hand he's throwing from. I think that might be a monkey knowledge, but I'm not entirely sure. This guy is really good though if you get the faster throwing and the improved rangs. You can actually get the glaive ricochet, which, as I had said earlier, will hit one balloon and go down the line. Bounces from balloon to balloon automatically. Yeah, the XXL hits everything but the BAD. It can definitely be a lifesaver. It just costs a lot of money. Usually when we use the XXL, it's in multiplayer, and one person is generally completely dedicated to the banana towers and starts giving money to everyone else. Well, that was not very nice of that person.
Oui. Tracking the OMG.
I really need to figure out how to delete things on the chat. I'm hoping no one else can see that message. Someone put something really nasty in the chat. I'm still pretty new to this, so I apologize if that is still visible. Let's go ahead and get some silly bones on here just for the heck of it.
Oui.
Let's see.
Tracking the OMG.
Not sure that we're going to get very far on this one. I'm not very well set up for the BAD on this one. Or the DDTs at this point. Let's see if I can get those hitting leads a little better.
DDT, DDT. That's some serious damage.
If you can ever get these guys up to Crossbow Master, definitely They are very potent. They'll take out a lot of your problems. Also, if you're not doing chimps mode and you have the monkey knowledge set up, you can get 2 crossbow masters, which makes it extremely powerful. That will pretty much wipe out any swarms you have come at you.
Weapons hot.
There we go. Generally speaking, you want to keep them on first shooting, though. Okay, that's good. Still in range of that. And this moment of truth, I think we actually did it. I did not think that was set up well enough. It can really make the difference, the direction the track goes and how much you can get around these tack shooters, how much it goes around the monkeys themselves. The tracks that go around the same places are a lot easier than the straight tracks. Probably the hardest tracks are the ones that will split in 2 different directions, so they don't even touch each other, because you really have to split your efforts among 2 different areas.
Weapons hot. Swarm deployed.
That's not looking good.
Eyes on that exit.
Yep. Round 98. That seems to be about the end for these. If you like playing this game, they are still having the Christmas event going on. I think it goes on, yeah, it goes on for another 14 days. As you do maps, you collect different amounts of presents. As you get more presents, you get insta-monkeys, which can be really useful for the harder modes. I didn't use any this game, but they can really make a difference. Also, anyone who's interested, there's only 14 days left on the event where you can get special shots, you can get special kinds of skins for your balloons. And all in all, it's a lot of fun. If you like tower defense games, this is definitely one of the best ones out there. Now, I wanted to keep this stream to an hour, and we are just about to that. If you're willing, if you could follow. I'm trying to reach 50 followers, which would be amazing. And otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Take care.